Told the plug I need 100 pigs. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 pigs. Now my shoebox got 100 G. Told the plug I need 100 pigs. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 pigs. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I'm in Cali every week. I go hard. Rowan said he got sour, need that whole yard. Chasing turkey back.
That's it. We'll make the push this week for it.
All right. Good afternoon, New Haven. You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We're also streaming live video on Facebook Live. Just go to facebook.com/New Haven Independent, or just go to your Facebook page, look us up, and click See First. That way you get to see all the great programming we have here on the New Haven Independent Radio, WNHH. All the great shows we have will come up first on your Facebook feed. So that's always a good thing. We have a lot of great programming here. How you guys doing today?
Good morning, good afternoon. How's it
See,
going?
they're taking the advice. They're sharing it right on their Facebook.
We're sharing it on Facebook now. We're putting together a little post.
A little late.
Yeah, we had to make sure the link got up.
Well, you can also follow Kibra. She does a live feed usually through the show, which is really nice.
Catches us at our worst
and
moments.
It's on Insta. Yep.
So we got all
and
that.
And that's live now. Oh, we live.
There we are. We're live right now. Very nice.
It was a good weekend, guys. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, how was it? Well, besides the weekend, I think the weekend started on July 4th as far as I'm concerned.
I think it did.
For most people.
And we had a July 5th, though.
July 5th, so
I
Kibra.
had to say, started it up pretty nice. Kibra.
Yeah, we had a nice thing last week. Kibra, tell us a little about what went on. There was a great publicity. A lot of things happened July 5th. So tell us, the day after Independence.
Yes, we declared the
Independence. Exactly right.
Yes.
And we had a grand reopening for Canna Health at our new offices down at 178 Temple Street. It was, first of all, let me just say, I never get nervous. I was dumb nervous.
I could tell.
Like it just, I think it was more nerves than nervous. It was just like all that adrenaline built up. I could barely talk. But anyway, I got through it.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And so we had a nice turnout. The mayor came, cut a ribbon,
Mayor spoke.
the ribbon, and she said some really great things, and especially about my grandmother, and
That's right.
and it made me feel pretty good. And then we had Jason Ortiz, who came from MCBA. We had Aaron Romano, from the lawyer from Normal. Let's see, and then a lawyer in his own right doing so many great things around the state.
Right.
And State Rep Tony Walker was
Tony
in the
showed
building.
up, that's right.
And that was great to have her talk and share. And then, of course, you guys were there. And we announced a partnership with MJM Strategy and Rashida Dawson. They're helping me with the business side of things, like with the branding and the marketing, that kind of stuff that I don't have any skills.
Well, you're a nurse. You know what I mean? You help people. Let somebody else handle the business and the money. Your business is to help people.
Exactly. Thank you,
And
Joe.
you just collect.
Exactly.
That's right. We all have our own, thing.
Yeah. So it was just a great day. The office looks amazing.
Beautiful office.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I think I would love to
go to the Canna Health page if you want to see some photos, right?
And
you can go to
GoCannaHealth.com.
Yeah.
So GoCannaHealth.com. People are forgetting to go. But yeah, that's our new website, and you could actually go on there, find out more about Canna Health, read a little something about me. I don't like that picture, but
well, switch it.
Well, out here in listening land, if you can help a sister out with some professional headshots.
Oh.
But I need to be cute. Like, I want to be cute a little bit.
I thought somebody we know does them, right?
We have a bunch of people we can take care of that.
I need it bad.
All right.
Because,
you know what? I got you.
Because I was just invited to well, anyway, let me go back.
Yep, we'll
to the
make it happen.
website, you can find out about me. You can find out about Canna Health and the services we offer. You can find about our ongoing promotions, which always veterans are $100, and always people who are on SSI, disability, food stamps, receive cash assistance, unemployed, anybody getting government assistance that you can prove it. It's always going to be $75.
That's nice. That's
awesome.
really that's less
that's
than half
right back
price.
to the community.
Keeper.
That's exactly what you said you were going to do, and you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, this has all been about the community, Of course, like I've had to stay afloat, keep things together, but that's another reason for the partnership was to be able to broaden my reach and be able to offer more services to people who really need access to cannabis.
Yeah.
So that definitely was my goal. And this weekend we certified a lot of people.
Did you? Great.
Yeah, a lot of people took advantage.
I sent somebody over. I don't know if he went. His name was Kenny, but
Kenny.
I don't know if he ended up going, but he will eventually.
Yeah. And so, but it was great. Like, and then I actually certified someone who was wheelchair bound.
Oh.
And so it was a nice day. We were able to go to a private little area, sitting area, see him outside, so because of the fact that the stairs.
Right.
So we will accommodate you, even if you can't get up the stairs, we could figure something out where the clinician can come down and meet with you or whatever. Like that, don't let that deter you.
Right.
But it was just great. We had a great weekend.
It was very fun, yeah.
I had a great time. My mom was here.
I know. It was nice to meet your mom.
My children came to something for a change.
Yep.
That was nice, and it just was really a positive experience. And I pray that we can continue to offer the services and
more services
help people out and expand. And everybody keeps asking me about the classes.
Well,
when
let's
they
set some up
started.
for September.
Yeah, and I think they want something like NIZAB.
I think we're gonna put something together for the next coming weeks.
We can do some workshops up there.
This can segue right into the next point there. So, as we all know, we're all together, so we're gonna take that next space and do some really great activities there. We have a yoga teacher on board already. We have a dance instructor on board. We're gonna do some little quick workshops, free events, some free workshops for the community where you can come in and learn about CBD at no cost. That way, our nurse here will be able to tell you everything in a quick snippet. I know Keeper has a great speech that we can bang out in no time. And
yeah, so really soon, probably before August, we'll be all set.
Yeah.
We're gonna cannabis consultants. We gotta name it something fancy, but we've got
Does the building have a name?
I don't know what that building's called.
It'd be the space at.
But that's a cool little spot up there.
So we're gonna offer yoga classes, Pilates classes, and for our little girls, we're gonna offer affordable dance classes.
That's right.
A couple days a week, and then we'll also have our classes in there, or the Canna Health offices between
either
the
one
two.
Between the two. Yeah, we got plenty of space now.
That'll be a nice open space. I think we should do like a chalkboard wall in there.
Yeah, so
and we should. It should be a place where you can hold events, small receptions. We can give it a name. I got some ideas. We'll chat after. I don't want to give away nothing on the air.
But that'll be another great set of services
for the cannabis industry.
And again, this all comes from. Well, first of all, I gotta be a little honest. I wanted the Pilates and yoga studio right next to the office,
so I can
exercise. Otherwise, I probably would.
Listen, all great ideas come from someplace. I was
from a need.
Hey, let's do it.
And dancing school because of how expensive dancing schools are for kids.
So now, if it's something we can bring right to the downtown area where we can help integrate the service and the community. Who knows? Maybe going forward, one of those instructors does something with the New Haven Arts and Ideas Festival in the weekends, or so. Who knows? The possibilities are endless, and we're really, really excited.
So that's exciting. It's exciting. No, I'm very excited what's going on over there, especially the PTSD thing that you have happening. I really think you're onto something there. I really think seeing the response, going to the event you had at City Hall, and then seeing the same response at the opening. People are really in need of that PTSD the help with that, the PTS. I remember we're trying to get the D off. It's not a disorder.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just post-traumatic stress. That's what we have. It's not a disorder. Because you know what? If it's a disorder, then everybody's disorder.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody has it in some way, shape, or form. People don't realize the depth of PTSD.
Right.
And I think that's something that I know that Canna Health will be moving forward. Really, really capturing, probably doing some support groups over there and workshops on PTS and all that.
So one of the therapists who was at the PTS event, Kaisha Velasquez, we kept our promise. We started a page on Facebook that is just, I called it the Unacknowledged Tears Group. And on Tuesday, they had their first support group last Tuesday. So I believe another one is tomorrow. And I forget what was going on. I couldn't make it. I think I was working on the office for the grand reopening. But I know a couple of people who went, and they really, really felt it like it was beneficial to them. So
I think that's
I really
great.
enjoyed listening to her speak. She sounded very knowledgeable. She's offering a very professional service that would cost. It cost.
Yeah,
she's
people need to know that there is help out
this
there.
This is real life. This isn't just let's just fluff something at it, but
I think
really taking it seriously.
What she really brought to light for me was, we suffer from PTS. I know that's my diagnosis, and I do from some of the things that went on in my life. And cannabis is great for that, and it helps with the symptoms, like the anxiety and the symptoms that come along with PTS. But I think what she brought to light with me is that there's a root cause that you have to deal with. And, whether you deal with it through talk therapy or through group therapy or just by, reading, talking to somebody spiritually, however, you have to deal with what caused that stress in the first place.
Right.
And how to deal with that. So it's not just a question of, hey, you smoke weed and your PTSD goes away.
No.
It doesn't. It's like
Symptom
an aid to
only.
it. Yeah. It's more like so you can go out there and still function while you're getting the help or before you get the help. In other words, there are some people who walk out in the streets, and they're jumpy from the PTS. And the weed, the cannabis helps them stay calm, less anxiety, be able to go out and function, focus on things. And I think it's important that people know that with PTS, it's a two-prong treatment. You have to kind of really treat the cause, not just the symptoms. So cannabis is great. And she really brought that home for me, because I'm like, oh, I'm a medical man. I'm treating my PTS. But you know what? I realized I'm really not. And you know what I did last week? I scheduled an appointment with a therapist.
I know, that's right.
That's right,
Joe. Yeah,
I did.
Joe.
I have an appointment on Wednesday with a therapist.
That's
I had
awesome.
to find one that's covered by Husky.
Yep.
So.
No, that works.
But, because you do. And I do realize, even though I use cannabis and it does help me, there are still underlying factors that went along with that still affect me in real life.
Yeah.
So it was very enlightening for me. So see how that even helped me, you know what I mean? Just attending those events and listening.
And that was the
people have to
point
say.
of it. Honestly, I was hoping something miraculously would happen.
Yeah.
And everybody would be healed instantaneously. But, that's not reality. But it did. I wanted it to really just start a conversation, to really help people put a name to it, because I think so many people just are functional trauma victims. They just go through life and they don't realize that, snapping on their children is related to the trauma or not being able to be consistent at work or focused at work, or those are all
relationship issues.
Oh, please don't even get me started talking about that. Relationship issues, like all these things, they really are affected by
trauma, right?
Have experienced. So it was a really great conversation starter and a prelude to the services that we all are going to be offering between getting certified, taking the classes, yoga. We're gonna
be a nice little hub over there.
There'll be CBD sitting inside the location for sale. There'll be a little bit of everything for everybody, so that you can kind of experience what's going on.
Yeah,
and the information will be present. That's the biggest part of it. As long as the information is present, that goes the longest way.
Now we'll tell everybody on the air, anybody who else is entrepreneurs up there. It's a really cool little building, and there are a couple other offices open. So,
and they're reasonable.
Yeah, they're very reasonable. So there's a lot of friends up there already. Joe Ugly is right in the same building with us. So I'm sure we'll be hanging out with
we got
him.
some comments there.
Yeah,
And
I can't even see.
what does it say? Are you speaking from 3 different
No, we are together.
Oh, we're
Let's
all...
No,
join
we're all
hands.
together in the same room.
see
See,
it?
there we are.
Yeah.
I don't know why they can't see mine, but.
Oh, it's gonna play in a second.
yeah.
Oh, I see. We're behind.
there we go.
There we are.
There
Yeah, we're
we
behind
go.
the times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all together.
Let's
So-
see what else. Oh God, there's more.
So, as Keeper reads those a little bit, the biggest thing after PTS and
Wait,
what do you
hold
do?
on.
What do we got?
Somebody said New Haven is the rich man arena.
Whoa.
Where they at? Send them
We're
my way.
Rich Man Arena.
We're always taking investors.
Please
Please
send them
let us
my
know.
way.
They can.
Have
help us out.
they been reading the headlines about New Haven lately?
I know, right?
Rich.
It seems like every time I see you, it's about weed. Because
That's
this
the
is
industry
the cannabis
we're
corner.
in.
This is
Yeah.
Cannabis corner.
I get it, but there is so much more newsworthy in New Haven. So many killings and shootings and homeless and
Hold
Yeah.
on. This is the Cannabis Corner show. I want y'all to listen to some of the other shows that are on this network
Which are
that
awesome.
deal with quite a bit of the issue. I'm getting a little offended here. Did they not know the name of
Don't
this
be
show?
offended.
I'm
Don't
pretty
be
happy
offended
we don't get
because we
offended
do
here.
talk about that stuff too. That was
PTS
just the
is a
whole
big
PTS
thing.
conversation.
Yeah.
Is in
Yeah,
reference
I mean,
to
this radio
that.
station does nothing but have political shows on all day.
Right.
And maybe if you did put it on See First on your Facebook
There you go.
page,
Pay the bills.
you would see, no, it's too early. You would see all of the great shows we have on here.
There's some really
Yeah.
great
that
programming
do
here.
deal with the political issues, and cannabis is an issue. We have 1 hour a week, and we talk about cannabis. So we're trying to keep it focused on the topic of the show. Does that explain it to you? Yes. If you want to hear about the shootings and the murders, we touch on that.
Yes, we do.
But there are other shows on this network, and Harry will tell you the names of them. Even Harry's jumping in.
That's right.
I think Joe got a little offended
I
there.
see
Yeah.
Joe got a lot of it.
But
offended.
let me say this, because talking about people being saved and everything, cannabis is saving a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
Keeper's always saying, coming into this business might save a lot of people in the hood.
Yeah.
That's,
and outside of the hood, like
We're trying to
let's
have
not
positive
even talk about, like,
about it.
the effect that cannabis has been shown to have on tumors and cancer.
Thank you, Harry.
The treatment that people receive or the symptom management people receive who have Parkinson's disease. So yes, there are some things that are happening in New Haven that we can't specifically do anything about, you
Right.
know, but we can offer this for symptom management to help people deal with the shooting. Have people, maybe people wouldn't be out in these streets so much if they
Right.
had opportunities for entrepreneurship or jobs that were
100%.
accessible.
Right.
And all of this around is connected to cannabis. So
Right.
it's all relative, Julianne, but we thank you for your comment.
We appreciate
Right.
you.
I'm
wait.
sorry to get offended,
so-
but this is the
Along with
Cannabis
all of that,
Corner.
And my
I like cannabis.
my last 2
Oh,
cents.
Yeah.
And PTSD is a major one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people out on those streets are suffering from PTSD.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure.
So actually cleaning up that, re-diagnosing them so that they're able to get
the proper help.
the
and they're
proper
not
help
necessarily out there doing
would help
the
a lot
things
of
that they're
people.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. We're dealing with what happens after the shootings. This is more, really dealing with the problem after the fact.
And or dealing with it ahead of time by identifying the fact that you have trauma, that was what makes you maybe trigger happy or quick to anger and all those things. And so we're trying in our little corner.
And
Cannabis
legalization
Corner.
would take these kids off the street who are dealing drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
You know
like-
what I mean?
Yeah. So Julianne, it's all relative, honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
people say that to me all the time, like everything doesn't have to do with cannabis. Well, honestly, a lot of things
Kinda in
right
my
now
life,
do.
yeah, they kinda
Yeah,
do.
and in my life specifically,
I mean,
like I'm
every-
all about it.
Every activist type person, everybody who's socially conscious, has to pick a lane.
Right.
You
Right.
can't, I have my opinion on gun control, but I'm not out there. That's not my cause. I have
Right.
my opinion on a lot of things, but I have chosen cannabis as my cause because it directly affects my life. I know how it's helped me. I've seen how it helps other, and I have passion about that. So you can't deal with everything. You have to pick your lane.
Right.
And that's what we've chosen this lane, and we're riding.
And it's a higher lane than most lanes.
Cannabis very much.
Yeah.
And,
we are definitely
do
doing social activism, right?
We do the
definitely.
activism. We show the progressiveness of what the entrepreneurial side can do for you.
I mean, everything we do has to do with social justice.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Give back to the community.
Now, our lane is a wide lane. Like within cannabis, like you said, we're talking about medicine. We're talking about social and restorative justice.
Money.
We're talking about money. We're talking about jobs. We're talking about entrepreneurship. We're talking about community. We're talking about education. We're talking about science. We're talking about, like, it's not just the one.
Right. It's a very large,
thing.
encompassing
Because
thing.
I don't know if people are, we don't talk about getting high.
No, very rarely. We don't get high in the air or anything. We could. Our phone call is here.
Right on cue.
With that,
I gotta buy it.
who's on the line?
How are you?
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, on the line right now, we have Bobby Nuggs, the world legendary Bobby Nuggs, New England legend. And I'm going to let Uncle Lou introduce him. Uncle Lou, please introduce our guest today.
Hey, Bobby, you there?
Hey.
How's it going, sir? So a little background on Bobby. So Bobby is a well-known cannabis rights activist, celebrated journalist, and cannabis concentrate connoisseur. In 2013, he won the award at the Secret Cup Finals, where his team in Denver, Colorado, during the summer of 2014. He was also successfully coordinated the Secret Cup Beast Coast. He has judged cannabis cups all across the United States and has over 50 published strain reviews and is quite knowledgeable on the subject of different extract methods and cultural topics. Bobby has organized a handful of his own events in New England and tirelessly continues to educate the community at seminars, expos from coast to coast. His mission is to help set up overall quality standards in the industry. Currently, you can find him writing in Relief Media and other informative publications or news sources. This summer, he is one of the event coordinators for the Kind Mind Campout, which he'll tell us about shortly, which is a cannabis-focused music festival located in Maine. You can follow the 420 aficionado on Instagram at BobbyNuggs_official, and we'll put that up for you. Welcome, Bobby.
Hey, what's going on, man?
How's everything, Bobby Nuggs?
Things are good.
Hello,
Good.
Mr. Nuggs.
We got volume or?
Yeah, we're good. We're
Can
trying
you
to
guys
get. Nah, we got you.
All
Yeah, we had to turn
right.
you up a
All right,
little.
cool.
Very, very
Yeah,
cool.
Good, man. Tomorrow's 7:10, so I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, yeah. You know, while we got you on there, why don't you give us a little? Do you know the history of 710? You got a little history behind that, so people, our
Yeah,
listeners,
man.
know what 710
I think
means.
about year 2010, dab started really taking craze in the U.S., and a couple of heads had gotten together and discussed just a funny topic about how 710, the number is oil spelled backwards, and
Turn it upside down.
from there, the 710 movement was birthed, and that's our holiday for dabbers. Like 420 is for the stoner community, you know? Every
Yeah.
710 for the last 7 or 8 years, everybody gets together across the globe, and we all celebrate cannabis concentrates, the extraction, the process, competitions, the music. It's all one big family, and that's what tomorrow's all about.
Great. Yeah, but yeah, Bobby, well, you're one of the pioneers in the concentrate industry out here in New England. I mean, I know as far back as I can remember, your name has always been associated with, like, bringing that art form here. You know, starting in Rhode Island, but it's spreading to Mass and even down here in Connecticut. You're very well known. How did you get into it?
To be honest, I've always loved hash. I've been smoking hash for probably like 16 years now. And there was none around. I'd find some, and then I'd go a year without it, and I'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, I'd have some keef, and I'd press that stuff, but it wasn't the same. So I stumbled upon some friends of mine who were truthfully making BHO in their backyard with PVC pipes. This was years and years and years ago, 09, end of 09. So we were making BHO in the backyard with PVC pipes, you know, following YouTube videos of people out in California and tips from people, and we ended up buying a honeybee extractor, a little plastic extractor tube, and from there we ended up getting some glass. And I kind of got sketched out by the whole process. So at that same moment, I was given a bubble machine, a washing machine, and a set of bubble bags. So that summer, I dedicated every moment of my life to washing full melt, fresh frozen trim to try to acquire a full melt dabbable bubble hash. And it fascinated me. I was dumbfounded by the process, by everything. It took me about 2-3 years to hone in my technique. And by that point, 2012, 2013, everything that I was creating was a 6-star melt, dabbing. This was before rosin, I was really lucky. I was given a set of bags, and someone blessed me. It was like, here, this is what you need to be doing. This is how you do it. Do your thing. Mm-hmm. Here we are now,
And then from there, you co-authored the extraction guide and classes over at the Northeast Cannabis Institute. Am I correct?
Yeah, Bobby wrote the whole section on bubble hash and how to do it.
That was a good section.
Their advanced course curriculum on cannabis concentrates for the school when the school was open. That was an honor.
Yeah, so not only are you just a home, you didn't learn from the streets and get it right, but you also spread your information to the education sector, and you've been able to pioneer some of those courseworks now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I'd reach out to people online, on Facebook, on forums, to try to get answers behind the technique, because it's not an easy thing to learn. Now, it is now somewhat because the information's out there.
Right.
6-7 years ago, it wasn't. People were trying to keep it secret, and it was valuable, and people would want $5,000 to $10,000 for consultations.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm sitting here just baffled, I can't afford that. No one wants to help me, so the only way that I'm going to be able to learn how to do this is to just try.
Right.
So that's beautiful.
And you
that's
picked a good time. It was a perfect time. The industry was just starting to grow out here.
So now from that, you've expanded.
My career had to do with timing out here for sure. In general, everything that I do had to do with a lot with timing. It's kind of funny.
Yeah,
but everything happens for a reason,
That's right. It's your destiny to be in this industry, right? Now, finally, there's an industry to be in.
Agreed. I also try to stay well-rounded. My focuses have shifted a lot from concentrates, especially now that hydrocarbon extractions in New England have become a hot topic and negative focus by the police department and the police forces.
Right.
I've had a big target on my back for years, being a public figure and a voice in the community. So I stepped down making hydrocarbons. I still love to make my bubble and stuff, and I practice here and there once in a while. But I've gone on to do other things, and I'll always know where my roots lie and what I really love to do. And I study it still every single day. You know what I mean? But the hydrocarbons are beyond me now. I stepped down from that realm, and I really leave it up to the people who are following the science. There's a lot of people out there who are still getting hurt. I know of people probably 3 months ago who are in the hospital and still in the ICU from severe burns.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
So that's one. What were you gonna say?
The home extracting thing has kind of started to fade away. Because you can buy a machine now, actually, if you have the money to do it. But also with legalization coming in and the medical industry, there's better ways to do it, and I think safer.
Much more. Solventless is the way to go.
Yeah.
Right.
So we had a couple of people.
Rosin has taken the whole entire nation by storm, and everybody can safely make concentrates in their own home with a pneumatic press and create heat extracted resin. Nice. That was a game changer.
Yeah.
It absolutely changed everything. The moment someone stuck a bud in between a hair straightener and pressed it, they revolutionized everything we do. And that issue, I think that's why it's deteriorated in a lot of ways, is because rosin is so popular now.
Right. Mm-hmm. And also CO2 extraction seems to be like the norm now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing all these states, whether 25, 26, 27 states right now that have some sort of medical, recreational, or
we got 30
right now. We need more training and more education. That's a big thing that
tell me about it.
We all emphasis on in our region here in New England,
And we have the classes down here as well, Bobby, right?
What?
And we have the classes down here in Connecticut as well, Bobby. Maybe one day we can get you down and teach a course down here.
Yeah, man, I would love to. We could do a tutorial on some full melt and anything you guys want. Make some rosin.
Awesome. And we know that your focuses have switched a little bit from the production side to more of the entrepreneurial figurehead events and education. Very nice. So we were hoping to speak to you a little bit about that as well.
Don't you have something coming up for 710?
Do I have anything planned for 710?
Yeah, I think there's something going on, right?
Yeah, I was invited out to be one of the panelists for the 710 information sesh that Mass Can Normal and Mass Consumers are putting on tomorrow.
Beautiful.
They have numerous panels, but they have me on the Concentrates 101 panel with I think one of the people from Ivio Labs and a couple other concentrate enthusiasts and extractors from the community. I'm really looking forward to that because, like we were saying, everybody loves hash. Where's the education, you know?
Right. And I saw the lineup for that. It's pretty healthy.
Stacked. There's going to be rosin demonstrations, singers, opening singers, keynote speakers, and like 4 other panels, I believe, workshops as well on photography, entrepreneurism, athleticism in the cannabis industry.
Nice.
They're pulling out all the stops, but I wouldn't expect anything less from MassCan Normal and those and Mass.
Yeah, you guys, they do a great job.
So
if only we could learn from them.
If you want to take the trip up, It's a great event.
Called the 710 Sesh, I believe, right? Find it on Facebook.
Yeah.
710 Sesh.
Yep.
Do you have questions, Keeper? Is there something going on Facebook here? We're looking at
I just wanted to just acknowledge the people who are writing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. So we have George Zito, Gennaro Zito. He said, hello, PTSD affects us all. Just watch the news. Our soldiers are victims. They need their cannabis. And New Haven Independent, he thanks you. And Kamari Cooper said, keep the discussion going, cannabis for president. And George said, God made this beautiful plant to help people, but man made it illegal. Keep on doing what you're doing. And our last comment said, legalization will help drug addicts, perhaps in change of drugs. So I think she means instead of using the other illegal substances, using cannabis, and through new congressional bills, we can together save lives. Very, very true.
Thank you for your feedback, people. We appreciate it.
Very true.
Yeah. So this thing, the 710 Sesh, is on tomorrow night.
Yep.
And
tomorrow night, you can buy tickets online. I think today's the last day to get them for $10. Otherwise, $25 at the door.
Mm-hmm.
You can contact MassCan.org on Instagram or on Facebook, MassCan Normal, and they should be able to direct you guys to get tickets.
Great.
Anybody who would like to go. There's going to be so much information spread tomorrow night. It's going to be really, really awesome.
Yeah, I've seen the lineup.
To be a part of it and to offer my knowledge and expertise and, opinion.
And that's the same organization that throws the Boston Freedom Rally, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes, it is. We will be doing the Education Village again this year at the Boston Freedom Rally, too. So you guys got to make sure you stay tuned for that, and maybe you should get involved on a panel.
Yeah.
Oh, we'd love to. Who does all that?
That would be Linda Noel and Catherine.
Oh, okay. I know them.
I can put you guys in touch on Facebook for sure. We can try to figure out something.
I'd love to speak up there this year.
And then on top of that,
we need more unification, I think, on all the panels. And
more New England.
What we're doing right now, we need to do in front of people.
Yeah, yeah. We need to keep New England as a region.
Yeah.
We all the states here in New England need to stick together.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Because we're definitely looking at Mass as like our
leader. Yeah, we do.
I guess that's why events are so important right now, and why education is literally the backbone of this industry and movement.
Well, we believe we should normalize the stigma. You know what I mean? Completely normalize the plant, normalize what's going on, and you're also a key component in that. You have some dinner parties. You have some nice gathering of the one might say more upscale event, not the normal chef. But we got to pay some bills as we always do. So, Joe?
Yeah, I got to pay the bills real quick. You're listening to Cannabis Corner on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from downtown New Haven. We are streaming live on TuneIn Radio and NewHavenIndependent.org. We are also streaming live video on Facebook Live. Just go to facebook.com/NewHavenIndependent or go to your Facebook page and look us up. Okay, bills are paid. So
I have to say, they listen to us everywhere on this. I got a text message from Seattle saying that they're playing the show.
TuneIn Radio. Yeah, you can get it on TuneIn. You can get it on, it's and at NewHavenIndependent.org or on the Facebook page. So
thank you guys for getting me in on a segment so quickly. I wasn't expecting that. I really appreciate you guys having me call in and just shoot it with you.
You've been on our minds, Bobby. You've been on our minds. We've discussed it. We just had to find the right time. Things were going crazy here in Connecticut with the legalization, so we were trying to hammer that with having politicians and all that. So now we're into summertime and we're talking about social things.
Mm-hmm.
And you're big on the social scene up there in Mass and Rhode Island. Like Lou was saying, you do these special dinners, you do these cool little events, networking events. But what impressed me was that you actually took a festival, this Kind Mind Festival, and added an educational component to it. So this is usually one of those festivals that people stay over for 2-3 days, right? They camp out. There's a lot of Grateful Dead type people there, right? It's very, very much partying and tripping and all that stuff. And in the middle of that, you guys, and this is the first year you've done it, correct?
Yeah, this is the first year.
So you took that and you put an educational village right in there, and you're going to be educating people about cannabis. And I think that's a great crowd to get to. It's a whole new concept. Tell us about how that came about and what you're doing up there. Because a lot of people from Connecticut roll up there.
I'm going.
Yeah, it makes me happy. I hope we get people from every state.
No, they do.
Especially from New England.
Well, I'm going. I'm gonna.
It's gonna be a good time. They had approached me with the idea about 8 months ago. I was elated to be involved. Really, really excited. Have a lot to bring to the table, a lot to offer them, a lot of experience and value, and they definitely seen that, and I'm grateful. The idea for the Kaimai Campout is a 3-day music and arts festival. Kaimai Campout, the Campout Cup. The cup is a backdrop of the Kaimai Campout Music Festival. So we do have a cannabis competition.
Oh.
We have 100 judges
Love the legal states.
from all over the East Coast that were vetted with an application process and have some sort of industry experience,
I submitted
knowledge, and connoisseur love for cannabis and concentrates and whatnot. They're going to be placed in our Yurt Village at the festival grounds. They're going to be the official judges of the event and our VIP. Not only that, we're going to have 3 days of music. Modest Yahoo is our headliner. We have Ioto, RJD2. Then we also have a celebrity judges panel for the Cup. Randy from the Trailer Park Boys is going to be there. Alex Gray and Allison Gray. Mark Brownstein from the Disco Biscuits. We're flying out and selecting Nick T from Essential Extracts. Creator, Sour Diesel, AJ. And then Ellen and I have curated an education day on Saturday with 4 education panels. We're going to be covering all types of topics from cannabis concentrates and extraction safety methods, future trends, and we're also going to be doing celebrity panels. So the celebrity judges, Alex Gray, Randy from the Trailer Park Boys, are going to be on a panel with me on main stage, and we're going to have a Q&A from the crowd. It's going to be a really good time. I'm excited for what's in store. We've really been putting in a lot of work to bring this to the people. It's not an easy thing to do right now. What we're doing with this event is unprecedented here. So
yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I was so intrigued about it. Yeah. And when you say Ellen, that's Ellen Brown, right?
Yes, the legendary Ellen Brown.
And today's her birthday.
That's right.
Happy Brown. Happy birthday, Ellen.
And you got Laura too, Laura Boehner.
Today's her birthday.
Year of the Dragon.
No. Tomorrow's Laura's birthday.
She
gets 7/10.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, Laura gets 7/10. Ellen missed it by a day.
Timeline's going to be a great time. Maine is a beautiful place. I've always had an awesome experience when I've went up there.
And it's a legal state. I mean, you can't get busted for smoking now.
Campout is also a 21+ event. So it's really the first of its kind, hence the name. It's the first of its kind out here in our region on the East Coast, I'm really excited for that.
It'll be my first trip to Maine.
What is the dates on that? I don't think we mentioned. It's August
3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Oh, that's my mom's birthday weekend.
www.kindmindcampout.com for all information.
Great. That should be a great time, and that's up in Maine. A lot of people go to these festivals, so anybody who's out there listening, this would be one to attend. Yeah. Very, very cool. And what else you got going locally? You got the 710 Sesh. You have a dinner coming up?
Yeah, I actually signed on to start marketing and promotions for Massachusetts cannabis chefs. They do 2 dinners every single month in Massachusetts for 21+ patrons. I've signed on, and I've recently helped get Raw Rolling Papers involved with the dinners, and they've sponsored all of our papers and rolling material. So we do have 2 dinners coming up. One of them is on the 14th. The other is on the 28th. And then I have a birthday dinner the 22nd, and then the 20th is the Terptown Throwdown, which I'm judging for. Actually, right now as we speak, I'm judging for a local competition.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, that's July 20th, and that's in Rhode Island. I
believe it's sold out, but you can contact Metal Mike 420 on Instagram. He has the last of the passes that are available.
Well, I want to go.
I think the only way to get them is to go to Steve Stock next weekend in Mass.
And buy them from him there?
I don't even know what his plan is. I think he may be giving them to people who come to the event.
Oh, wow.
Follow him on Instagram, Mike's a Cool Cat. He'll have all the info for that.
Yeah, that's a great event.
Yeah, we got a bunch going on, man. It's nonstop. I can't believe July is already, almost halfway over.
Oh, my God.
Days,
Well, there's a lot of excitement up there, with the legalization finally, going into effect July 1st. Even though they don't really have retail set up, the fact is you can consume legally there and possess legally.
Yeah, consume legally and possess yes, and the cool thing about Maine is it's always had reciprocity, so all out-of-state patients can go and medicate safely and carry their legal limit up there.
And Rhode Island, too. That's why you do a lot of your events there.
And then there's Mass, like the epic forefront of the East Coast right now, you know?
Right.
I was reading that there's 25 million square feet of vacant mill space right now in Massachusetts.
Oh, my goodness. Not for long.
Yeah, that's over in Fall River, isn't it?
Stuff. So the paper state's going to, I think, be turned into
rolling paper
quite
state.
Cash crops.
It'd be the rolling
for
paper
a whirlwind of an experience in the next couple of years, guys.
I do believe so, yeah.
I believe so, too.
And you know, talk a little bit about hemp. That could be a big, huge area of this industry that people aren't even realizing.
I don't think people anticipate the impact that it really already has and is going to have not only on the environment but on people's financial abilities. That's a cash crop.
Yeah.
In every sense of the manner, you know.
I mean, you can buy tons of land, like you say, tons of land.
We're looking at a farm. If anybody's out here looking to invest in anything, please let me know.
One thing I say, if I have a tip to anybody who wants to get involved in this, look to the future.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Look where the wave is going, not where it's been.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we just got
There's a lot going on. You got to pay attention. You got to know. I try my best. It's not easy, but you got to stay ahead of the curve with everything, you know?
Yeah,
Especially
look at the laws, where they're headed.
There's so many niches, and I want to personally grow hemp, too. I live on a farm, just a little info. I live on a farm that my family's owned for 100 years, 35 acres almost. So one day I hope I could at least take 10 acres and maybe grow some hemp, you know?
That would be great. And it's almost as close.
For years, you know what I mean? Sassafras on the property, all types of cash crops, but never that.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome.
No, excellent. And you'd be helping the environment and helping the planet, too. So.
And get the family involved. I really encourage that.
Yeah, that's true. It's a great thing to start a family business, you know, like that around cannabis, especially farming.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
You know, especially farming.
Especially if you have that in your family already, you know, it's like, why not instill different values of what's right and has always been right, but was made negative, which is prohibition.
Right.
You know.
Right. The last
80
years.
91, so she's stepped out of that mentality. She grew up in that, but because of me, she finally realizes, like, all right, I see the potential in all that. She uses topicals because she had skin cancer, and this and that and the other. You know, she's a supporter of it. But even her, she wants me to end up putting a hemp plot in because I was talking to her about it like last.
I know that's right.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, Rhode Island, you know, this godforsaken state. I don't know.
No, we're in the godforsaken state. No, I'm sorry, Bobby. You might be number 2, but we're number 1.
Yeah, 100%. But that's the thing. Like, I also I fight for cannabis because everything's so scattered. I want things to make sense one day, and we still got such a long fight to go. I see a lot of my friends getting comfortable and stuff. I'm like, hey, dude, don't let that fucking nest egg just make you comfortable. That's gonna get stripped from you. You know, we're still not safe right now. You know, I'm always watching my back and, you know, making sure I make the right moves and not involved in any bullshit, even fights and any negative drama, because I don't want anything to tarnish what I've worked so hard to establish, you know?
Yes, definitely. I absolutely do know.
Yeah, Bobby, just remember we are live on the air.
We can't bleep you. But I was going to ask you, being that
passion's there happen.
Yes. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You all right. But I wanted to ask you, you've been in this industry for a while now. What have you seen, like how the difference in the mindsets and the way people think about cannabis and how you've seen it transition over the years? Yeah,
it's almost 10 years for you now.
Yeah, 10 years.
Because I heard you talk about your grandma, you know, and so like how have you seen people's mind change with more education?
Honestly, the education has been great, and what I've noticed the most is elderly, talking about my grandmother. I think that's where we need education the most, too. Elderly are super important, and those are even our politicians, to be honest with you.
Right. Yeah, they could use it more than anyone.
I agree. And those minds still have such control over everything that we do. I think that's where I've been seeing most changes with the elderly. Our younger generations are always going to support this. If they don't, then they're going to find something else to do, which is mainly alcohol and other stupid drugs, you know? But the elderly, I feel like that's where I've seen the biggest change in the mindset regarding cannabis and how it is a medicine, how it does have positive benefits, how it can help change people's lives. It's not a demon weed or a devil's lettuce, you know?
No.
And I found, like, if you just...
It's been fun over the last 7 or 8 years to see older people, much older than me's perspective change on the plant.
Yeah.
I like that. And to be honest, they still have such a strong say in how things go right now, and I feel like we're going to have to clean up their mess with all the laws that are being made. So we need to try to get on the same page with them, and that's something that I like to see people educate for is more elderly people and people who have not much older, 50 plus, you know. Their views are different.
Well, I got to tell you something, though, Bobby. I was thinking about this today on the way up. Now, I'm 58 years old, right? I'm a baby boomer.
Not all of you guys, but...
Well, I got to tell you, it's not the boomers. We grew up in the 60s. We're old potheads and old hippies. There's still enough remnants of the previous generation, the silent generation, left in government that is holding this back. We're talking guys who are in their 70s who are still running government.
Yeah,
they're from the previous generation. The boomers are waiting for these guys to get out of the way. Believe me. Remember, we're old potheads.
I guess it's just a matter of time, you know, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They've caused us such a heartache and it's going to take so long to reverse this process of prohibition, you know. Sometimes I get stressed out.
Yeah, and
I'm not even a prohibitionist. I don't write laws, but I try my best to stand for them and what's right, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking it's not a question of just educating the public about this and educating the lawmakers and educating that generation. We also have to uneducate them, and that's the issue is. Uneducating and educating is tough. We got a twofold thing to do. You have to.
Yeah, it's hard to. How do you unlearn something?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's the hardest thing. I had put up a post about wanting to speak to faith leaders and go in churches, and I had people telling me, "Well, the Bible says that it's
Bible
wrong."
don't say nothing about. I read that thing 5 or 6 times.
It really doesn't, and they reference like being, like
That's the
you can drink, but it
boomer.
says not to be drunk, and so they're saying like, well, but we. Forget all that.
Responsible
what about
use.
the medicine?
Yeah.
What about the science?
That's
like
right.
you can't if you
I
really
think that,
open your
people are also losing sight of the medicine because of the legalization craze that's taking form and shape right now in the U.S.
Yes.
Right.
And
I
across the
agree.
globe. People are forgetting that this is one of the best forms of alternative medicine available to humans.
Exactly.
So, all right,
I don't
Bobby.
know it can cure cancer in its own ways for sure, but there's so much science that still needs to be learned about this.
If they were able to do the research on it that they need to do, they would find a cure for cancer out of it, and they would find a cure for a lot of other things. It's, in other words, it's like the poppy plant. Okay, they extracted a ton of different drugs out of that one poppy plant that were opioids. Now it's time to do the same thing with cannabis. It's opioids have had their time. It's over. It's done. We've evolved beyond that. And now we need something new to make medicine from that is not going to kill you. And it's really time we opened up the doors for research, legalization, all of it. There's no reason for this plant to be illegal.
Yeah, because these same people who have a problem with cannabis are okay with
opioids
taking
and antidepressants and all these horrible things. Adderall.
Kill you. You will die.
I mean,
like,
if you could
take
side
enough,
effect.
Yeah, we're getting it off on a tangent. We got to wrap things up. Bobby, tell people how to get a hold of you. How do people get a hold of you about all these great events we've talked about, and how do they find out about them? We got to wrap it up.
You guys can follow me on Instagram, man, and BobbyNugs_official, or on Facebook, Robert DiVincenzo Bobby Nugs. I'm always posting. I'm always staying busy. I'm staying active. We got a lot of great events coming up over the next 3 or 4 months before the holidays. So you'll see me around if you want to meet me. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow night at the 710 Information Center.
At the 710 Sesh. Yeah, and hopefully we'll get you down here sometime, Bobby. We'll get some of these cool events going in Connecticut.
Definitely you need to come to our next conference and come and teach a class. So we'd love to have you.
I would be absolutely honored.
Yep, we need to get you down this way. All right, Bobby.
All right, brother.
I'd love to sit in on a panel. Thank you guys for talking with me.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
have
you,
a great
Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby.
afternoon.
Much love. Bye.
Great guy, that guy.
Yeah.
Love him. So it's funny he said that. I was just real quick before we get into the events and wrap it up. I was reading an article today. Medical cannabis is replacing prescription drugs for Connecticut middle-aged and elderly. So, I mean, this is it right here, just what Bobby was saying. That not only are they getting onto the program and starting to use cannabis, they're ditching their opioids and they're ditching their prescription drugs.
Because they don't
work.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if y'all think opioids work, but they really do not work.
no.
What they do is they trick your brain into thinking that you don't have pain until they wear off, and then you got to take more and take more. But the pain is still there, or the root of the pain is still there.
Because they only
Cannabis-
hit the opioid receptors.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So, but cannabis helps not only deal with the pain, but it also helps with inflammation, which usually causes pain, with ischemia, which causes pain, with all those things. And like you said, because of the fact that we have our endocannabinoid system, it works perfectly. So
yeah, I mean, so it makes a lot of sense.
I'm telling y'all, if you want your grandma to believe in cannabis,
Topical.
get some.
Topical,
get a little salve, put it on her knee, and walk away.
In her
hands,
knuckles.
wherever her arthritis.
Mira, mijo. What was that thing? What was that?
I tried with my mom and didn't work. Now I'm trying on my aunt. Her sister. I'm like, come on, I couldn't help my mom. Maybe I can help you. She's, she is actually getting a little more open. She's 82, 83 years old in a month. So, I mean, it's going to take some work. The ones in their 60s, they're a little more open to it because they're the tail end of the boomers, so they remember, oh, yeah. They're a little more, maybe some of them even smoked, And I think it would be a great service if maybe we went into some of these elderly homes, educated them about CBD, like you say, bring a little rub, put it on their hand, let them feel it, let them see how it works. It's a question, again, of getting the management to be able to open the doors to let us do that. And there's where we get back to the education.
Right, and that's something that I am going to start doing. It's just been so many things all at once, but I definitely want to start going to senior centers with a little blood pressure cuff, take your blood pressure and teach you a little bit about the medicine of cannabis. CBD, yeah. I mean, listen,
they might want their card.
Yeah.
I'm a full-time. Yeah, they need the whole thing.
They need the entourage effect.
Yeah.
But CBD is like a good way to open the door for people.
Yeah.
I like the weed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I like giving them THC.
Right on.
Well, so do I. Yeah,
to rub
me
the
too.
THC right on it and be like, oh, okay.
Well, you know
too.
what? I love hearing the stories saying, hey, I got my first good night's sleep in such a long time.
Yeah, we just heard a story like that today, right?
So
I mean, my grandmother, who inspired me to do a lot of this, she would have been 95, 6 years old right now. And she believed in cannabis from the beginning.
She told you she smoked a joint before.
Just to get
she must have been doing that when she was younger, right?
Yeah, she probably did. But was a community servant, very professional woman. But knew what to do to manage her pain. What's wrong with that?
What's the difference of that as somebody going home and having a martini?
Exactly.
Smoke the joint, take a bath. What do other people do? Go home, take a martini, take a bath. Right? What's the difference? And some people have 5 or 6.
Yeah, with alcohol, you might not get out that bathtub.
Yeah. So, I mean,
if you have enough.
Difference. No difference.
Yeah.
So
it's a big difference because cannabis is better.
It's just healthier. It's not going to kill your liver. It's going to help your liver.
Exactly.
So... Well, definitely, there's a couple events going on. We got the Medical Marijuana Support Group on Wednesday night at Bohemian High down in Milford. That starts at 7, so anyone's interested, you can find that on Facebook. Here's a new one I just found. Our friends Aaron Romano and Jason Ortiz are doing another talk. They've been doing these talks every month.
They're running the circuit.
They're doing this one in Rocky Hill. It's up at the Wooden End Tap. I guess that's a restaurant up there. It's called Race, Politics, and Cannabis.
I know, that's right.
Yeah, so it's all about, not only just cannabis legalization, but the politics and the whole racial background of the
Aaron
prohibition.
Has a great presentation that talks about the history.
Yeah, he has a real good handle on the history of prohibition.
And if you go to Wooden Tap, get the crab dip. Oh my God,
is it awesome? Yes, it is. Well, I know we have one. I'm gonna have to try that. We got one up here in Orange. We'll have to go there someday for lunch. So I'm getting the 2-minute warning signal from Harry. So any last minute thoughts on our way out here?
Goodness, what's Monday gonna be? The 15th?
Yeah.
Next Monday,
so I won't be here
the
next
16th.
Monday.
Well, next Monday's the 16th. You won't be here?
I won't be here.
Oh, Lou.
I'll be in L.A. So
what are you doing to tell us? What are you doing in L.A.?
Oh, it's nothing.
Not cannabis?
Not cannabis necessarily, but I'm
Bring
sure
some
I'll
back.
be doing some cannabis.
Yeah.
What, Joe?
No.
I would never.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
I would never do such a thing. But I'm going. My best friend and I. It was her birthday last week, and we planned this trip a long, long time ago. So we're going to do a LA tour.
Where are you going?
To just all LA, and they're taking us to a bunch of different places.
Well, we'll have to chat. I know some spots.
Okay, thank you. But what I haven't told her yet, and I don't know if she's listening to this, Laura, she's gonna have a whole fit, is I have to leave her on the 17th because I'm flying to San Antonio to speak on the NAACP National Convention panel on cannabis and diversity. So I'm going to spend a day out there. I mean, that's huge. The NAACP is a very traditional organization with a lot of Southern roots and ties.
Yes.
So, like, their openness and willingness to have a cannabis panel is crazy. So I'm so glad to be on the first cannabis
So you're only
panel.
going to get a couple days in L.A.?
No, I'm going to do 2 days in L.A., fly to San Antonio, and come back
to
and
L.A.
finish out the L.A. trip.
So you're going to be going all week next
We'll
week?
get you
I'll be
jet
going all
setter.
week.
Oh, well, we're going to miss you. You know, I was going to have Joe Ganem on next week, but I think I'll move him up a week so you could be on the show.
Oh, that would be really
Because
nice.
I want to make sure you got some questions for him, and I want to make sure he answers your questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. All right. Very good. Lou, anything?
Just continuing on. You know, got a couple great meetings working with some CBD.
Great.
companies.
Great.
CBD.
All right. Same thing. Go Joe's is doing well. You know, everything's moving along.
Yeah.
Everybody
And
have
then we're into 100 P's. And who sings this?
Woozer.
Woozer.
Chuck Woozer.
All
100
right.
P's.
We'll see you all next week. Thank you all for your support of Cannabis Corner. And that's it. Next Monday, me and Lou running the show.
Maybe I could call in. For
We'll have
like
you call
5
from
minutes.
L.A.
Live from LA.
From the MedMen. Call us from the dispensary.
Oh, I will.
All
Maybe
right.
I'll even go.
We'll do
yeah,
that.
we'll
You'll be
figure
our
it out.
guest.
We
You'll
will
be our guest.
FaceTime live.
Yeah.
You're the guest.
Okay.
All right.
Later, guys.
Bye, guys. Follow us all over.
Yeah, everywhere.
Blue sherbet stuff the whole jar. 100 P's on the Bay Bridge, stuck in traffic. If I ever run into Riri, let's make magic. Die doing something you love, it ain't tragic. Heard what I said, it ain't tragic. From the home of lay down, smoking ratchets. Never win when you spell it backwards. I got green in the Bay, my whole team Packers. Hold the plug, I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. Told the plug I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100 G. I told my plug I need 100 P's. Now my shoebox got 100